I'm just going to get this thing set up. I spent a long time doing these notes, and they are not even complete, but I'm going to force myself to finish because I have a nice rhythm with KGB where I feel like I do the notes and for a week, and then we look at it once a week. So just one game a week. All right, now let's. This is looking weird. Something happened here. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Analysis, open cloud engines. What? Something weird happened. Wait a second. Let's go back. Board. There we go. So if I add the kibitzers, it will eventually look like that. I don't want it to have it on all the time. So I'm just trying to figure out my layout. Let's try it like that. And I know, you can't see it yet. I know, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Coach is going to be on me about this. He's going to be like, cry. Come on, man. Get it together. All right. So, here we go. Window capture. Boom. Let's get my little board. Beautiful. Okay. Got to turn off the stockfish, dude. You'll just be crushing all the time. And, you know, chess space is really annoying to me. It's got that evaluation bar. I turned it off before, and then since I rebooted the computer or something, it put it back on. That's annoying. So I got to fix that too. Okay. It's almost like all of these things you got nowadays. When I say things, software, whether it's online or something like ChessBase, generally dealing with some kind of, it's like forcing you to look at the computer, or very much, encouraging you to look at the computer. So is that going to be cool? Let's just try it like that. So I want to just give a sense of the things I'm writing. I might have to adjust this in a little second. All right, so that is the basic setup we're going to do today. Let me just turn off the kibitzer for a moment. Hopefully that looks all right. Okay, good. So I'm playing some punk in this game, dude. Some punk. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. The guy played pretty well, but somebody I'd never heard of, somebody with a lower rating, this is around 4. I'm white, I'm expected to win. All that stuff is going on. Oh, that's a delicious coffee. Good morning. World Cup will get more interesting in the next couple rounds. I promise. We're going to do some World Cup coverage. I got to do this, though, man. I got to do it. So, D4, D5. You're going to ask me, who is this against? The guy's name, I barely remember. Naman Kumar, like 2000 something. Thank you for subscribing. He plays DC. Now, here's the first thing where I did a move that is, that's not funny bunny, but it's controversial. Why is it controversial? Because I had intended this in my opening preparation. So I got to write something out here. This was my intention, but then at the board, I decided I wanted an end game. Actually, let's not write intention. Let's say prep. Then the board, I said I want an end game against the kid, and I was spooked by whatever prep he might have had. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is the kind of thing where KGB is just going to be like, dude, I don't care about this decision. This is not an important decision. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what he says. But I think that's what KGB is going to say. Juan Cruz, thank you very much. About the, it helps with the support. I don't, people say stuff like that because making those videos, I don't know, a lot of times, and then you're putting yourself out there, and then someone's going to get mad at you for something you said about it too. You know, they're going to be like, oh man, crying. Anyway, so thank you for the support. I'm sorry, Steve. Sorry, buddy. They're mad at me over at the dojo too, man, for not scheduling my business properly. But, you know, I have lessons going on, and I've just got to, you know, it's hard for me to say. Even if I'd done it today, I could have said like 10:15. I ended up getting here at 10:30. Anyway, so this is my prep, and this is what the computer wants. And it's funny, like when you look at the computer's like, within a couple lines, it's like, okay, white's just clearly better. But then you come to the board and you're like, well, it can't really be true that it's so easy. And then the kid's gonna have something. And, you know, I don't have a lot of experience in all the weird sidelines or whatever either. So, is my mic broken? Is it really broken? I'm just late. Hold on. Let's just check my settings here. You guys are making me, I'm gonna take away, let's disable the desktop audio and see if that helps. Is my voice really funny? Mic seems fine. We'll see, people are messing with me already. Okay, in any case, E3, we'll see what KGB says. All right, and also I need to say here that 156. So I got 2 hours for the game, and so 156 means I spent 4 of my precious minutes thinking about this opening decision. All right, here we go. Now, one of the things is, first of all, on E3, E5 is an interesting move. So there's like, one of the drawbacks is on E5, I feel the position's just, it's an interesting position, but I don't have anything special. This position, honestly, I feel like I have some deep experience, and it's kind of what I was going for. So here, I was like, okay, fine. I kind of have a sense. But it's also a thing I had studied this intently like 2004. 2004 with like Ribka, and the analysis engine Ribka. All right, here we go. DC. He chooses bishop c5, fine. Queen d8, king d8, knight d2, king e7. This is all, let's call it theoretical. Bishop e2. And now let's call this his first big choice. I would say b6, b5, rook d8, knight d7 is what he played. All those are, maybe knight c6 is playable too. All of that's in the realm of possibility for the guy. Now, actually I need to say here, I'm still 149. KGB is really on me about the times I spent too long. Let me just say right now that some people are here, one of the things that happens a lot when I'm coaching is that I'll come up with a narrative of a game, and I'll say something like, there's just one big mistake in this game, and that's where everything got tossed. Excuse me, that's what the student will say to me. And invariably, when we look at the game, it's not that way. That is simply not true. There's like, i.e. the game was far more rich than that. This game, what's curious to me is I've studied this thing for days now, some pretty deep analysis, and there's a couple spots where I feel like I could do different things, but that there's still one move that I have true regret zone. Maybe two, but at that point, by the second mistake, I've already lost the bulk of my advantage. Okay, Polly, that's an important point with the fan noise, and I tell you exactly why that's happening. It's chest bass, dude. Chest bass is. I don't even have the. I don't even have Stockfish turned on. It's just chest bass. It's a killer. Oh, Mitch. Now look, everybody. Mitch is a genius. Look at this. Soapyco's QGA course. Oh my gosh. And so, for example, maybe that's what I was up against. Like maybe this kid had done some QGA course. And I just looked at the Stockfish analysis, which says that white was clearly better. Okay. Knight d7. And now I played a move that I think, I'm not actually sure, but I think was part of my original analysis like way back in the day, which is knight g5. It's a weird looking move, and it's the kind of move you wouldn't play unless you had seen it at some level. I almost want to give it an exclam. In any case, the following positions are very technical, you know? So here we go. b5, knight e4, bishop b7. Bring this over here. I bring it over here not because I forgot the moves, but because I want to write down the times as well. So at this point too, I'm winning the time game. So everything at this point seems like it's going my way. Though even here I was a little nervous just because obviously my development is so poor. Knight c5, knight c5. b3, and I'm going to presume, not b4, buddy, b3. I'm going to presume that this was all in my analysis of forever ago. Was it true? I don't know. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check the database before we even look at the, you know, the engine or whatever. My sense is that I have a small advantage here for sure. And then in the game, I feel like it's a clear advantage. We'll see. And big question here, what he should do. Honestly, I think I'm already doing great. During the game, I wasn't entirely convinced, but just looking at it now, I'm like, I gotta be doing great here. Now, big moment for the guy. Maybe he should play b4 here. He played rook d8. Actually, rook d8 can't in itself be wrong. Rook d1. Let's call this his big moment. And now he plays knight ce4. Now after this, I'm pretty sure that I'm clearly better. All right, now I'm going to take it back, and we're going to do a data reference-based search just to see if this knight g5 move is actually a novelty or whatever. I think it was like I said, it was my own personal theory from forever ago. Well, right, Mitch, I was trying to do e4 instead of e3. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, I'm getting spinning wheel of death. Oh, my friends, I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. Bartel against Crush. Holy moly, some draw. What is going on here? Oh. Okay. Sorry if I lost it there for a second. Knight g5 is like I said, is a weird move, and that was my own special sauce from back in the day. I'm not going to ask the computer yet, but we're going to say that b5 is actually the novelty in the situation, at least according to my database, and that b6 was Irina Krush played b6 in this position. And let's write a little. It's funny if this was the computer suggestion in, like, you know, the early 2000s, that then Bartel used it against Krush way back in the day. Okay, boom, 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 b3, boom, boom, boom. And I thought maybe b4 is a thought for the guy. But b4 is also admitting that I'm better, because I can play bishop b2 followed by knight c4. But, you know, he'll get some kind of knight c3 thoughts at least. It's nothing special for the guy. But anyways, I thought this was giving me what I wanted. Do I use local or live database? I'm just using my computer database. All right. 94. Okay, Cry, you need to type in your moves here. So 132. I'm sorry about the fan. It's truly, it's bothering me too. It's one of the reasons I don't like turning on the computer. It's one of the reasons I don't like using ChessBase. It just destroys my whole business, my peace of mind. All right, so I took, now look, here's a question for KGB. Is he going to be on me for spending some time here? I'm going to hope not, because I think, like, this was a position where I really did have to make sure that I'm still, like, controlling the situation with the counterplay. And here, I guess I spent the most amount of time, 113. So this is 15 minutes. That's a little long. But again, I have some sympathy with myself, because I had to see all of the following variations to make sure that, like, no, he doesn't actually have any counterplay. So I was very happy to find following variation. 109. Bishop f1. All right, 108. So will KGB be upset that when I reach this glorious position, I only have a little bit more than an hour left? Okay. So I'm going to say this is where the real game starts, in this position, and I'm going to go ahead. We'll see. KGB doesn't like it too much when I give analysis. But I'm going to call this clearly better for white. Now, during the game, I was tempted to believe that it was winning for white. KGB might say it's winning too. I don't know. Okay, DM Hokie. I don't know what the Huma's engine is. What's the Huma's engine? I don't understand what that is. Oh, man. This is just terrible, dude. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. Huh. Okay. Well, how do I turn it off, dude? And I'm sorry about the weird acid trip thing that happens with my stream. I still don't understand that either. All right, I'm going to settings. Going to settings. I don't understand. Settings. Options. I don't even know, dude. Yeah, I don't even know where to go, buddy. options? Is that what you want me to go to, dude? I don't know. Engines. All right, we're turning off humus. All right, let's try it. Turning off humus. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that, man. Oh, I thought for a second that it was going down, but it's not going down. No more humus. Well, I'm listening to my engine. It's still kind of crushing, but maybe it needs a second. Okay, so let me just say, in this position, one of the things I need to work on is, I was very happy, very aesthetically pleased to reach this beautiful position. And I think one of the narratives of the entire tournament was that I didn't have the energy to finish people off here because it was an ageist tournament schedule where, it was like rounds at 7 o'clock at night and I'm going to bed at 9 because I'm an old man. But B, like here, just having the energy now, I had to calculate, make sure he didn't have any counterplay. And now I felt like, okay, we're just going to play some natural moves and be like, KGB just wants me to play some natural moves here. But in fact, F5 is a very good move. And I did not appreciate, maybe partly out of arrogance, i.e. I'm playing a low-rated player, this move. And one of the reasons to have an instant reaction that it's a poor move is it feels on the surface that this move will help me open the position for my bishops, right? And also it's on technically the wrong color, i.e. normally you put your pawns, you'd like to put your pawns on the opposite color of the color of the unopposed bishop, so on the dark squares, to fight against my bishop on b4. Plan on knight d2 is just to play bishop e2 and tell the knight that it's not hitting anything, right? And so f5, what it does is, first of all, it prevents f3/e4. Is it Control A? Oh, crap. I never remember, so if you tell me how to do the arrows in chess base, I will do the arrows, but I can never remember. It's like Control Shift or something weird. I don't know. It prevents f3 then e4, which would then limit the bishop on b7, but more interestingly, it creates an engine of counterplay on the king side with g5, g4. Alt key for green. I don't think it's going to work, dude. Oh, there we go. All right. Nice. All right, so it prevents f3, e4. Okay. And like I said, creates this engine of counterplay with g5, g4. So here's the first moment where I'm very interested to see what KGB thinks, both in terms of what he thinks I should do right now and what the evaluation of the position is, right? Like after f5, maybe an ideal version of myself would have said something like, look, buddy, you need to dial down your evaluation of the position from being close to winning with the bishops to now maybe being not so easy, which I did not do. And then now I'm going to say there's 3 options. And one of the things I think KGB is going to say is that they're all good. I think he's going to say they're all good. Now, I'll tell you the one that I like the best. I played rook c1, okay? But I think the one he's going to like the best is, or I like the best, is f3, king f2, just to build the position before I do anything at all, and to claim that the rook the rook on d8 can do absolutely nothing against the bishops. Another question I have for KGB though is like, when I play rook c1, I wasn't afraid of rook c8. I thought that would just be a beautiful position for me. And he might even have some rule of thumb of like, the way you play the position here is X because of Y. And to me, the only thing I knew for certain, and by that I mean, do you trade rooks or do you not trade rooks, right? Does he have some rule of thumb there? My sense was there's trade of rooks is definitely not a bad thing for me. But okay, so we got f3, knight f6, king f2 is one variation. And the other variation I spent a lot of time looking at is a4. This variation, by the way, this king f2, if he just plays king f7, intending his scheme of g5, g4, doesn't necessarily change that much, and I might have to end up doing rook c1 anyway. Now, the magical thing about black's position is that whenever I play a4, okay, whenever I play a4, this happens in the game too, the guy has bishop c6 exclam. And I say exclam just because, yeah, it wasn't the first thing that really occurred to me. Where when I take, dude has two options that are interesting. AB, which is, let's call it the principal move, which is just trying to say I'm caging the bishop on f1, right? I'm caging the thing. And this was very surprising to me because my first instinct was that rook c1 would be a clear advantage. But then I looked at bishop d7 and I just said to myself, you know what, buddy, it's not that easy. The guy's got like rook a8 coming and stuff, and rook c7 is just not that impressive, buddy. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I don't understand why the stream breaks up sometimes. I have no idea. It's a computer thing. DM Hoagie's gonna tell me I need to install like a cable 1,000 feet long to connect to my computer. Maybe that's what I will eventually do. I really wanted to avoid it. Okay. So I'm going to talk to KGB about this decision, but I think he's going to say that rook c1, f3, and a4 are all relatively the same. The difference with a4 is that it is a forcing move, and I think in general he would be against it because it's a forcing move. Especially if, but you have to see that bishop c6 is a problem. Because I can imagine just playing a4 on principle too, being like, well, I got to open up the bishop. And that certainly makes sense from that perspective, you know. But if you see bishop c6, you got to say, oh man, maybe not. Because then the d2 point becomes weak as well. For example, after a4, you have to at least think about the knight d2s of the world, you know. Like somebody said earlier about knight d2. And right, let's just leave it at that. Not that he should play knight d2, just as now the b3 point is weak after this happens. Okay, so here we go. Rook c1. My opponent played rook c8. My first instinct was this was a naive move with little chess understanding. Okay? Because it just seemed like he's going to be giving me a tempo because the bishop will have to move back anyway, and that I'm just getting all my dreams. But it's still surprisingly hard to crack this dude. All right, I still think I'm doing great. Honestly, one of the weird things about this game, like I said at the beginning, is the narrative I have now is that I really only made one mistake. So for example, here I have a choice of moves, but I don't think one of them is bad, as long as I do one of them. In hindsight, I would have rather have done this from a practical point of view, just because it really keeps the tension. But I don't think rook c1 is wrong. Stream is really pissing me off today. So, Boom. Boom. Bradley, that's a fair way of putting it. Yeah. Fair way of putting it. A power line adapter. I have no idea even what that means, a power line adapter. It just gets more and more complicated over here. I'm trying to make my life easier, DMOK. I'm trying to make my life easier, not harder. All right. All right, so here you go. F3, knight F6. All right, on F3, I spent 58 minutes. And then king F2. I'm down to, I'm not down, I gained time, so I played that quickly. Then dude just calmly plays bishop b7. Now we can argue, maybe he should have done something else. But let's just say his intention right now, he wants to play g5, king f7, g4, counterplay on the light squares, right? That's his intention. And my big mistake, if you will, comes now. At least that's my understanding. We'll see what KGB says. I played bishop d3, and I played it in only 3 minutes. So it's this weird thing, you know, like the key mistake of the game happens on a move where I don't take too long. And when you think about KGB's philosophy, it's like this is exactly the position where, you know, it's a non-forcing situation. So KGB wants me to play quickly here. I've analyzed this position with students, and let's say that the first move that came to my mind and also to students' minds was h3. And I think this is wrong-headed, because what's going to happen with h3 is that what you are doing is you are playing on his strong side of the board. And that wasn't even evident to me at the time, that it was his strong side of the board, right? In the sense that he's got this engine coming with king f7 and g5, but I didn't really understand, you know, how dangerous it was. But anyways, here's a variation. g5, g4, king f7. And I spent some time with this with various students. It's hard. I don't understand how I'm supposed to get an advantage in this position. And whenever I take on f5, I'm going to be splitting my pawns, and that's creating a problem. Plus, let's say the obvious. Now, f3 is also a weakness. So black seems fine here. Now the other move I can do is a4, but then our famous bishop c6 exclam, caging my bishop on f1. Also couldn't find an advantage here. Now again, when I do these notes that are just on the chess base, I'm really just doing the highlights. So I spent hours trying to make a4 work. Hours. Now, let me try to put in words what I think is correct. King e2. I also spent time on bishop c3. And I'll mention that because the real points of king e2, I only understood after looking at bishop c3 for a long time. So the first point of king e2. Okay, let's just say, why did I stop why did I not look? Why did I dismiss king e2? Is because if king d3, then I have to be worried about e5, right? So in the game, my sad move was bishop d3, and I am working against, let's say, black playing e5. And it's just one of the dumbest moves I've ever, it's not one of the dumbest moves, actually. I made a lot dumber moves than bishop d3, but it is a dumb move, and the narrative, again, we'll see what KGB says, but the narrative is that this is the move that ends up costing me the game, which is amazing to me because look at this beautiful position. How could I lose the advantage in one? I guess it's always possible to lose the advantage in one move. Anyway, so king e2. First point is on king d7, bishop c3 exclam, and he's really pinned down. He's really pinned down. The knight can't move to any effective square, and I'll play king d3 soon. The next point is that off king f7, then I've got that beauty of a move. And again, the pawn on e5 can't move, and this is kind of the key point of king e2, is that I'm waiting to see where the black king goes, and then deciding whether the bishop goes to c3 or d6. And then his only other real move would be e5, after which bishop c3, let's say, well, it's just beautiful, and I'm crushing. So, what else do we need to look at after king e2? Also, no, I mean, knight d5, bishop. Actually, let's look. Bishop d2 is possible here, but I think that this is a bad news Charlie here. Do I understand why we got the LSD? I don't know, Mitch. No one can tell me, buddy. No one can tell me. You know, DM Hoki's telling me I need some power line thing that I've never heard of. Other people are telling me I need a cable that goes all the way from the other room. It's very frustrating, dude. It's very frustrating. This is why I don't even know what a power line adapter is, dude. All right, I'm gonna Google power line adapter. Actually, I just wanted someone to tell me what is a power line adapter? I just read it and I have no idea what that means. Okay, power line adapter, dude. Power line adapter. A power line Ethernet adapter. I still don't understand. Why is it not just like a cable? Isn't it still going to be a cable that connects from my business to my business? Oh my God, it is really... Okay, I might understand it. I might understand. All right, everybody. Okay, all right, you guys. All right, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna put it on my list. Without this, without the tech support, I would be nowhere. Power line adapter. All right, get power line adapter. There we go. I was so convinced that once I had genius level internet service that this nonsense was going to stop happening. But it seems like it's still a problem. All right, we're going to say this is plus minus. And yeah, so king e2, exclam. It's the only move, too, that I could find that was really crushing. And it took me a while, too, to understand. And I think, right, you got yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. Okay, so. Yeah, and then in hindsight, it just seems like I got nothing after this bishop d3 thing. I can use the Ethernet cable, dude. I would just have to string it all around through the rooms, and I don't want to do it, dude. I mean, if it comes to that, it comes to that. But I didn't want to spend my life stringing Ethernet cables throughout various rooms. All right, here we go. So, KGB might still say that I'm winning this position. I don't see it anymore. I don't see it anymore. All right, 49, king f7. We're going to say king f7 exclam. The kid is doing great, dude. He's building an engine of counterplay on the other side of the board. g5, exclam. I'll give him an exclam because it's already part of his plan. King d2. g4. Bishop e2. So I've lost like 1,000 tempi, to be more exact, 2 tempi, in achieving this position. And actually, let's do the comparison. So the comparison would be king e2, king f7, bishop d6, g5, king d3, g4, bishop e2, which is obviously toast for black. Obviously toast for black. This is not even a question. Contrast that position with this one, and I lost 1,000 tempi. So, I'll try to put in words. During the game, I was upset, but I still felt like A, I should win it for practical reasons, and B, I thought I should still be better. In hindsight, maybe I should still say I should win the game, but I don't think I'm better at all. I think black is actually totally fine. We'll see what KGB says. e5, he could have done other things, but that's a simple and strong move. Now every time I play king d3, I will get smacked with some version of e4. I cannot play king c3 because of knight d5. And the kid's playing this part of the game fast. So he's caught up in time, and now with my next move where I tank a little bit, I spend too much. So I played a4. And I did not appreciate his next move even after a4. And like we've seen in the other variations, this idea of bishop c6 is like very critical and simple. Very positional too, and I discounted the fact that the kid could play with some kind of positional idea. Okay, I'm gonna get the power line adapter, buddy. DMO, I got it. Ethernet plugins in the rooms. Jeez, you guys are next level. I don't even know what that. Well, that's a good question, dude. I think what I have in this room is like some old phone line. I think that's what I'm looking at. Could that be turned into an Ethernet connection? I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh, I'm getting it again, dude. It's just I can't even concentrate on my chess because of the BS thing, dude. All right, so here maybe bishop a5 would be the way to go. I don't know. There's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with a4. All right, bishop c6 exclam. Exclam move from the kid. I played AB. And you know, I was terrified of like, is he drawing after bishop b5? And maybe he is, but more to the point, AB, and he's just fine. All right, now here's the move, which is definitely a mistake on my part, but I don't think I have anything here, and that's bishop c5. And one of the things that KGB has turned me on to is when you tank forever in a position, it's usually a sign that something's gone wrong. So I lost. What am I talking about here? Actually, on AB, I got to write it down too. So on AB, I have 33. So I spent 12 minutes on bishop c5. And here's the thing that's amazing. When you spend that much time, often what's going on, at least in my case, is you are reconciling reality with what you thought reality was going to be. I.e., I thought I was at least better, and now I'm coming to a reconciliation after this AB move that I don't have anything. I don't have anything. And honestly, it's a dangerous moment because maybe I'm the one who could even get in trouble if I'm not careful. So an obvious improvement on bishop c5 is bishop a5. Why? Because black is going to be looking to play. I'm going to need to play bishop d8 just to deal with the black counterplay anyway. And here a variation could go king e6, bishop d8, h5, and black will intend knight d5. In fact, actually, let me take it back, even simpler. h5, bishop d8, knight d5. Let's promote that. And I'm going to give him the full counterplay signal because f4 is coming. At some point, he's going to play f4. And it's going to be, yeah, it's just going to be epic counterplay. Oh. Very frustrating. Very frustrating indeed. Okay, Thor. That would be even easier. If I could get the phone line. Get phone line connected to Ethernet. Yeah, honestly, this acid trip thing that happens, it's so annoying to me, and I don't want to be thinking about tech problems, so if I can just deal with this one tech problem, and then I will never deal with any other tech problem ever again. That would be my hope. All right, and now I just have nothing, you guys. I have nothing in this position, and I had nothing on bishop a5 either. So all of a sudden, look what are we saying? Back here, obviously I got to have a clear advantage. After bishop d3, this innocuous-looking move, I got nothing. So that's the narrative. We're going to see what KGB says. Like I said, when a student comes to me and says there's just one mistake that blew everything, I'm usually like, no, it's not true. So we're going to see what KGB has to say about that one. Sorry about the acid trip. It's really ruining my own day here. All right, I'm going to just show you guys the rest of the moves, type it in. Now I realize I'm in trouble. I got to do something nasty like this. Honestly, now I feel like, if anything, maybe I have to worry about being worse. Bishop d8. Knight d5, simple and strong. FG, sad day. I have to do that. HG, I played. H3, frisky. And here the guy plays G3. No fear. No fear at all, man. Bishop F3. I'm sure he has more than one move. He plays knight B4, king E2. In fact, let me just think about this for half a second. I mean, F4 is certainly a thought for the guy, right? Certainly a thought. Knight B4, king E2, and I thought this was kind of frisky. I think he's still fine after E4. I thought this was kind of frisky, and again, it seems like F4 has got to be okay again. Why is E4 frisky? Because it is putting the pawn on the wrong color and allowing bishop C7, but again, I don't think it matters. I think he's still doing fine. Knight D3, good move. Bishop C7, knight E5. I played B4, kind of a weird move, but I don't know what to do. Here, actually, at B4, I'm down to 6 minutes. We'll see if KGB yells at me about that. I was thinking, dude, I wanted to win this game. I was dying that I wasn't winning this game. I was trying to come up with some dirty trick. King E1, obviously a strange-looking move. I don't know if it's a bad move, but I got to bring now the bishop back to E2 so I don't just lose. And now I think it's just a draw, dude. We'll see what KGB says, but I couldn't find anything here. I brought my beautiful bishop around. Played G4, B3, B2, snippos. 80 here, FG, HG, D2, boom, boom, boom. Actually, we drew it here. Okay, so very disappointing. Oh, killing me, dude. Absolutely murdering me. So I'm gonna save this bad boy. I'm gonna try to come on after KGB. I don't know if it's gonna be possible with you know, if somebody else is gonna be streaming or something like that, but it would be my way of just consolidating the knowledge of whatever it is that KGB tells me, right? And if you're interested, you can check it out. Now, I hope I'm getting this guy's name right, but I think it's Kumar. Now, did I get it? The name, the Indian names are funny, you know, because they can switch. So I might have to, I think it's correct anyway. Anyways, this was a kid. I mean, when you look at it, I don't know, you know, this kid's a 2000 player. He didn't make, I mean, first of all, I want to say, I felt like I had super GM skills just to get where I got, like in this position. Yeah, I look at, if I go all the way to here, I feel like, we'll see what KGB says. I don't know. I feel like this is 2700 level. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too kind to myself, but this part of the game, I was very satisfied with just the position. I was like, this is the position I want. Everything's going the way I want it to go in this position. And the kid hasn't made, there's no, outright blunder that the guy makes, right? Like we can argue, let's say back here, that moves like b5 and knight ce4 giving me maybe a little bit more than I should. Like maybe he should play b4. I don't really entirely know, right? But it's right, he drifted in ways that are hard to even understand, to let me wind up in this position where I'm going to say clearly better, you know? But it's not like the kid ever made some horrendous move, and he then found the plan of f5. Total genius level, man. Total genius level. In fact, maybe I'll just put it in there for KGB. There's a line I feel like that has some similarities in the Queen C2 Nimzo. I'm just gonna see if I understand it myself. So, boom, 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 B6. And now I gotta say to myself, oh cry, are you really gonna understand this? I'm hoping I'm gonna understand this. All right. F3, D5. Oh gosh, do I throw H6 in? Maybe I do. Hold on, let's throw in H6. Yeah. So, some mild similarities to the game where f5 prevents e4, and that black is hoping to get like an engine of counterplay onto the light squares. Also similar where dark square bishop and development advantage for black. Yeah. All right, everybody, I'm gonna close this down. I'm sorry about this terrible thing with the acid trip, but I think we got some two good tips from DM Hokie, and then also the fact that if there's a phone line, maybe I can solve my problems. I'm gonna try to get on that in the next couple of days. I feel like I'm overwhelmed with all kinds of stuff, but I am gonna get on it. I'm gonna do it. If you can give us a follow, if you can give us a sub, it's always appreciated. Like I said, I'll try to come back after KGB, and that's gonna be, I'll be done with him around 3, so maybe I can get online after that. All right, everybody, bye-bye, and I gotta raid somebody, bud. There's people so early in the day. Oh, this is easy. We're gonna raid Lafong, dude. I'm gonna raid good old Lafong. Raid Lafong. Wah. Pew. All right, everybody, I'll try to be back again, like I said, around 3. We'll see. There might be somebody else streaming at that time. I haven't even checked the dojo schedule yet. By the way, we lost to Canada yesterday. Just going to throw it out there. Kind of sad.